Good evening, baseball fans. It is Monday. It is Monday, right? Yeah, Monday, November 13th. Like I said last night, stove is very effing hot. And I say effing because I haven't given you guys the warning yet. I haven't given you the warning. You don't even know who I am. I am Suzy. This is Bourbon and Baseball. That's Tom over there. I realized it didn't look like Kelsey. Okay, I know. You guys are all hyped. You're
Kelsey
all
doesn't
hyped.
have the job yet. I'm still in the chair till she takes over.
Oh, no, Kelsey does have the job, but Kelsey has a different job. Tom. Kelsey
Congratulations, by the way.
Kelsey and I are going to talk about all of the baseballs once a week. All the baseballs once a week. You and I are going to talk about Astros baseball multiple times a week during the season. And then like in the off season, if like Astros do fun stuff, I haven't given you the warning yet. Sorry, guys. Then we will talk. Then we'll do the things. But like Kelsey, you penciled Kelsey in and Bourbon Baseball like once a week. Okay, like we're getting back in a rhythm now. Anyways, I'm Suzy. This is Bourbon Baseball. Words are hard. That's Tom. Rated R warning for the language, not any other adult content. Just the language. Okay, just the language. Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, what if Tom wants to put his OnlyFans out there? By all means, I ain't gonna stop you, Tom. I ain't gonna stop you. Okay, I will be the best wing woman ever, though. All right, but like that's not. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for the bourbon and the baseball.
Hey, we appreciate you taking one for the team. We appreciate you taking one for the team, Tom. So yeah, lots of F-bombs. If that's not your thing, that's okay. If that's not, if you don't like your kids listening to it, also okay. Like I'm not gonna judge you on that. If you want to let your kids listen to it, also, I'm not gonna judge you. That's on you. Just don't come at me when they're like, Mom, what does fuck damn it mean? I can't help you with that, okay? So, anyways, this is Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. And we had some piping hot stove news. Like it kind of broke on the last episode that I did with Kels, but it was made like official, and I wasn't gonna like get really excited about it until it was like made official. I felt like at some point in time that the rug was just gonna be like yanked out from under me, and like Dusty Baker was gonna come out and be like, "Surprise, motherfuckers, I'm back!" And
gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, and I needed that not to happen. Like I need the press conference to happen, and now it's like for reals. Now it's for reals. And I'm thrilled, not at all shocked. Did you watch the press conference?
I watched it after the fact. I did not watch it live.
Okay. Well, give me your thoughts, Tom. Give me your thoughts on A, why it took so long, and B, why was Jim Crane not there at the press conference? I need thoughts on both of them. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay. A, I think it took so long because I believe there was dissension among the ranks, so to speak. I believe that Jim Crane, and this is not why I think he wasn't there, but I believe that he wanted a bigger name. I believe that because if not, then you could have just handed the keys to the castle to Joe ESPADA the day after Dusty was done or the day of. I think, Jim is totally invested. And for people that think that Jim Crane's not invested, you're dumb because this man is spending money and this man is involved in the entire process. Like he wants to win as bad as we want to win. And I love that. But
does he though? Does he? Because I mean, if he did, he would put his foot down. He would put his foot down. You know that, like he would put his foot down. Come on now.
I think there are rules. I think he's an old school guy, and I don't think he's going to step on the toes of a manager or a general manager. At least not publicly. Privately, he's probably doing that. Publicly, he's not going to do that. So okay. I believe he's like, look, I need to look the part of an owner that just owns the team, diehard, passionate, want to win, and will do what it takes to win. But I put the guys in place. Nobody wants to be Jerry Jones. That's the fear. The fear is that you get labeled Jerry Jones, and everybody knows what I mean, except Suzy. Sorry, Suzy. What I mean, Jerry Jones is the most out front owner that ever was. You can have a dude that's a GM. You can have a coach. But whatever the fuck Jerry Jones wants, he's going to tell you, and then he's going to get it. He does not care who you are in the middle. That dude runs the castle, and everybody else is puppets. And this is the biggest non-secret. So no one wants to be that. I want to say George Steinbrenner used to be that way back in the day before baseball,
Like
Suzy.
like Daddy George?
Yes.
Okay.
If he said something, and old Yankee fans will tell you,
Right.
George ruled with an iron hand. Didn't care how much money, didn't care what it took, just fucking win. That's all he cared about.
I watched the Yogi Berra documentary a couple of nights ago, and Daddy George did Yogi Berra dirty.
Did not
Fucking
care.
dirty. And I was like, what are you doing, bro? I was mad. I was mad about it. Anyways, that
George
tiny
was
tidbit, not neither here nor there. Anyways.
George was a bottom line guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of other owners want to just, cut the checks and wave and, show up when the trophy's presented and be like, I love this team. No,
Right.
no, no, no. Those guys were stacking championships. Jerry Jones is trying to do it. George was trying to do it. Hal, not so much. Hal's trying to make money. Yankees fans hate him for it. Sorry, Yankees fans. You grew up with this and now you got that,
Right.
But I think that Jim Crane, to get all the way back, Jim Crane doesn't want to be labeled that way. Even though I think he's an old school baseball guy who is totally involved. He's not just sitting back there, just showing up to the game and watching it. Drayton McClain was like that. He was a dude before Baseball Suzy that just sat back, wanted to make money. If the team was good, great.
He made the ugly ass red and gold
Yes, he did.
uniforms.
Yes, he did.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
So-
Don't come at me, Astros Twitter.
So I truly believe that there was some dissension. Now, when names started falling off and when you didn't have Counsell and you didn't have some of these other names, then I think it was easier for Dana to go, look, we got the guy. Let's go with the guy. Which I think the locker room wanted Joe. I think Dana wanted Joe. It made the most sense. It kept everything, it kept the train rolling. It wasn't splashy. It wasn't sexy. It didn't make, big news. I think it made news locally,
Right.
but I think around baseball, everybody kind of knew, Joe Espada's the guy there.
Okay.
So I do not believe that's why Jim Crane wasn't there. And I think you'll hear from him between now and, I don't know, Thanksgiving maybe. And he'll say, I had something, or I wasn't feeling well or something, but I love the hire. He's great. He'll be great. They'll be great. We're going to go win.
Okay. I mean, I'm being speculative, Suzy, over here and trying to throw conspiracy theories out. I'm just saying. I think maybe he's not thrilled with the hire, and maybe Jeff Bagwell's over there and Jim's here. I'm just saying. I don't know, but
do you believe Bagwell has that kind of power?
I mean, you go and sign Jose Abreu and Rafael Montero to really bad contract.
But again, that goes back to Jim. I believe Jim did that. I believe Bagwell was sitting there with a cigar and a whiskey going, yeah, Jim, you got it, baby. Do it. I don't think he was over there calling shots. He's a team guy. He's a mascot.
He's a special advisor. Quote unquote. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the whole Brad Ausmus thing and take that with a grain of salt, I guess, if you will. But, Michael Schwab coming out and saying Brad Ausmus wasn't actually in the mix. Side note, what actually is Michael Schwab? Everyone says he's a media guy, but he's really not a media guy. He doesn't have a podcast. He's just on Twitter. And I'm very confused about this. Did I miss an era of Michael Schwab doing any of the things for the Astros? How did he become? How does he have sources? That's I guess my question.
I believe, and I don't know him, and I don't think we even follow each other. I want to say we got into a discussion once upon a time, didn't go well. Anyway, I believe that he's got a buddy that works for the Stros, who will break him off a breadcrumb here or there, and he reports it. A couple of times he hit, and you only have to hit once. I mean, look at what is now a $1 million company in John Boy. You only have to hit once, and then it all blows up. People want you for, well, maybe he's right. I think Michael Schwab's the same way. I don't think he's anybody in particular. He doesn't do anything journalistically that I've seen. It's just him talking.
Go. I'm gonna laugh when like somebody sends this to Michael Schwab and he's like, "Shots fired, Suzy. What the fuck?" I don't actually like.
Don't come for Suzy. Come for me.
I don't. Well, I'm like,
I want the smoke.
I don't mean this like in a mean way. Like I legitimately, and I said this on one of my other podcasts, and I can't remember which one, but like I said it somewhere else, and I was all, I don't actually know what he is, because like the realization came to me as I'm trying to like say the things, and I was like, yeah, but I'm like, but if you ask anybody in that follows Astros Twitter, they will know the name Michael Schwab, and I don't exactly know how, but we all do know that name. But yeah, if you take those reports with a grain of salt, like Brad Osmus actually was never in the mix, and so we all got ourselves riled up over nothing. I loved almost every no, I loved everything about this hire. Just that it didn't happen sooner. Not gonna lie. Um, I am going to play a little bit of an interview that Joe Espada did with MLB Now. And if you watched any of that ALCS Game 5, where there was a little bit of confusion on if Dusty was calling the shots or if Joe Espada was calling the shots. If you were locked into that game, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that that ninth inning where uh he pinch hits for Jeremy Pena, and then he pinch hits for Martin Maldonado, and then Jose Altuve comes up and hits the 3-run bomb. Okay, so I'm going to maybe I'll figure this out. We're gonna do the share the screen. See if this works. Okay.
I'll bring something else up. When Dusty Baker got tossed in Game 5 of that ALCS, you went into pinch hit mode, right? Diaz, Singleton, that set up Altuve with the 3-run shot. Give me your philosophy on that. That was a big moment.
You know what, Brian? I think the big moment in that game.
Okay, but hold on. Before he gets into this, I want everybody to listen very, very carefully on how Joe Espada breaks down why he chose where to put the guys, like why he chose to pinch hit Yainer Diaz for Jeremy Pena, as opposed to what I was screaming, like, why are you pinch hitting Yainer for Jeremy Pena when Martin Maldonado is on deck? And then like when John Singleton like works the walk, I need you guys to listen to this very carefully, because this is a fucking masterclass. Like it gave me chills. And not gonna lie, had that not happened, had Dusty Baker not been ejected, I don't think this moment would have happened, guys. So I'm gonna hit play now. All right, there we go.
Game was actually the 8th inning. They had first and second with nobody out, and I know with our resilient offense that we just needed to put a 0 on the board, and we had a really good shot at winning that game. I really felt comfortable saying, if we put a 0 here, let's bring our closer in, put a 0 on the scoreboard. We got a chance to win the game in the 9th, and that's exactly what happened. Presley came in, shut the door, and then the 9th inning came around. We have talked about who's a good matchup against Leclerc. Leclerc has been really tough against righties. He's got his cutter, he's got his slider. So, I was ready to make those suggestions to Dusty before the inning started. Now he gets ejected. Now I'm the one who's got to make the call. So for me was, you know what? This guy is going to try to pound Diaz with a sinker. Also, another thing about Diaz, and comes about, it's what we talk about, the behavior of the hitter. Diaz is, leading off an inning, you get a different type of approach. Now he's just trying to get on base. Now, if he represents the tying run, now he's going to try to go deep. That's kind of the mentality of a young player who has power, but he's also a polished hitter. So I try to make sure that, I want to send Diaz out there early. He's going to give me a good approach and good at bat. Now, Singleton, if Diaz reaches, now he's got the left side of the field open. Now he could work, could work or walk. And the goal was for me, I really want to get people on base for Jose Altuve. I've seen it way many times when Jose Altuve comes to the plate with people on base, something special is about to happen. So it was building towards that. Dia gets the hit, Singleton grinds out a walk, and I get goosebumps thinking about it. I'm like, here comes Altuve, and how he stays calm, poised, big swing, and we won the game. It was a special game, big win, and I wish we would have won one more after that.
You and me
there's so
both,
much
Joe.
real work.
You and me both. But the what could have been? That's okay. I'm looking forward to this next season. And I am thrilled that Joe has been given this opportunity and wasn't given an opportunity with the other clubs beforehand, because I want to say he interviewed with like 6 other clubs, in the past couple of years, that obviously he didn't get. And yay for us. And I'm all like, part of me is also wondering if maybe his heart really wasn't in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going and interviewing for these jobs, but I wonder if there is some part of him is like, you know what? Like, if you just wait, like, just wait it out. Like Jim Crane, maybe like a wink and a handshake has kind of said, not your time yet, but it will be your time soon. I'm really hoping that was it. But he's like given this silver platter. Now, granted, the expectations are high, right? Like, expectations are high, and I'm more comfortable that Joe Espada is going to put, the best players on the motherfucking field. Because guess what? That's what he said he's going to do. And I'm wondering, I'm like, is that a throwaway line, Joe Espada? Is it? Or was that kind of like a FYI, I know what the problem was. I got the fix. Not saying that, like, Yainer Diaz in the lineup fixes all, because I know it doesn't, okay? But it fixes a lot. Okay? It fixes a lot, and you can't tell me otherwise. You cannot tell me you cannot convince me otherwise. I will go to my grave, to my dying breath, that if this was managed differently this season, there would have been a different outcome. I know we're beating a dead horse. But do you think that Astros Twitter will be as rabid about lineups next season?
I do in some sense, because I gotta believe there's going to be a day where somebody gets a day off in a big game, or there'll be a day where maybe there's an opportunity to bunt, or some pinch hit, something or other. I think every team, regardless of what is said or who the manager is, or what the scenario is going to complain to some extent. However, I think the line that you talked about with Joe saying, I'm going to put the best players on the field, was not a shot per se at Dusty, because when he talked to BK, he talked about Dusty being a father figure and a Hall of Famer. Very gracious of Dusty, and rightfully so. I just think that was more of a nod to fans potentially going, look, I heard you. I understand. This is the plan. I think it was always the plan for Diaz to get the baton this season. I think that's going to be one of those conversations after it's all said and done. Oh no, Diaz was always going to be the guy next season. It was just that was Maldi's year. And I think Dusty, there will be a 30 for 30 somewhere where Dusty will say, we were going to ride off into the sunset together. And this is why we rode him till the wheels fell off, literally. And now we've got this young stud who got the experience without the pressure, and I can just come in and perform. They're going to say all those things. I know you hate it. I don't like it either. It's not cool. You should have just tried to win the mother-loving game, and then you could have had another ring on your finger. And because I can say this probably with 99% certainty, Houston's beating the Diamondbacks, right? This isn't a question, right? Like, I don't see a scenario where they lose to the Diamondbacks in the World Series.
Diamondback fans, close your ears. Close your ears, Diamondback
I
fans.
put Suzy on.
Close your ears, Diamondback fans. Because you know that I rode with y'all. Like, okay? You're my second favorite team. You're my first favorite NL team, but my second favorite overall team. Okay, but like, I'm gonna say that we would not. I mean, like, I don't think it was gonna be a given. I think they would have given. I think they would have given us a run for our money. I don't think they would have rolled over and been easy, but eventually, yeah, I think we would have won. But
And I say that because a lot of us felt, myself, yourself included, that had they had taken the time to properly groom Diaz, he could have been a bigger role. And when he's one of your best hitters, when you needed offense and you just never used him, you're always going to wonder what if Diaz would have got the opportunities to catch these pitchers so he could have caught on the biggest stage, and it wouldn't have been like, well, I can't use him. He hasn't caught him. That was the argument. And it drove fans crazy because it's like, well, that's dumb. You had an entire season. The kid was up with you the entire season.
mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason that now we should be going, well, I can't. It was just what he wanted. It's what Dusty wanted, and he did what he wanted to do. I think that's what incensed fans. It was like, look, I get it. Y'all are boys. Y'all are going to drink wine together. Y'all are going to talk very passionately about each other and all the time fun and games and whatever. But when it came time to win, all we wanted was the best chance to do it. And
do you know who had the best OPS at Minute Maid Park?
I want to say Tucker.
Yainer Diaz. Yainer motherfucking Diaz had the best OPS at fucking Minute Maid Park. You know who didn't get into any of the fucking games at Minute Maid Park? Fucking Yainer Diaz. You know who had the second? You know who had the second highest OPS at Minute Maid Park?
Kyle Tucker.
Chas McCormick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just, yeah. So just so that I'm not misquoted in saying that like Joe Espada said this quote, like, as a dig to Dusty, it wasn't that. It was, the full quote is, I just can't wait to work with Dana and put the best players on the field and collaborate with them, with our whole entire front office, just to make sure we put ourselves in a good position to win baseball games. Look, that's all I'm asking. That is all. That's all I'm asking.
That's all anybody was asking.
Anyone wanted. Okay, like even some of the really hardcore Maldi lovers were like, I'm so confused. What's happening? Why? Like it's a whole. Anyways,
but it wasn't just Maldi, and that's the important thing. A lot of people forget that it was okay. Abreu was sitting in the 4-hole for 2 months when he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Didn't want to move him down the lineup. We played musical chairs with center field where it was Chaz, then it was Jake, then it was Corey, then it was Corey, then it was Chaz, then it was Jake, then it was Corey, then it was Corey, and then it was
Mauricio Dubon.
Exactly. And all of these things are like, Dusty, why? And all you hope is that when you go to the line and go, all right, I get it. Let's do it. We shouldn't be going, well, that doesn't make any sense. His OPS isn't better than his. Like, those are stats they use to figure out how to play these games. And it's not like we're just bad fans. I know that I'm biased and I'll say it anyway. I feel like Astros fans are incredibly intelligent. Like, they're not just blindly rooting. They're coming with facts. They're coming with stats. And for all the noise where it was like, oh, it was the podcasters and the media guys that came for me, it was like, because they're coming at you with the stats, Dusty. That was the problem. It wasn't that we don't like you. You're a great guy. Like, to go hang out with, absolutely, Dusty's up there. Right. When you're managing, though, you're doing too much with the heart, not with the head.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. I'm like, I want to go listen to you tell stories about like the time that you smoked a bowl with Snoop. Okay, like that's the shit that I want to hear from you, Dusty. But get out of my dugout. Get out of my dugout, sir. Like just go and enjoy your wine and enjoy your wine. And I just I have another quick little thing. Like I'm so confused on the statement that Dusty made about the tweeters and the bloggers and the that he got tired of it. I'm like, sir, you were that I find that very hard to believe that this is what got under your skin because like you came up in the era of like Hank Aaron and like some of the things that were said straight up to your face, like not even as like a rumor or like behind your back, like people said horrific, nasty things to your face. And this is what got you all tired of baseball. Like I I'm I have a very hard time to believe that like in the era that Dusty was brought up that and the things that were just said commonplace by everyone, not everyone, but like, and you understand what I'm talking about, right? Like all of like the racist comments that were made at him towards him. I, I have a hard time believing that like what was said on Twitter is got under his skin. Like, what?
Or Chandler Rome. Like I can't see it. Like I can't.
I'm like, that's the most vanilla, like innocuous thing that could have been said. And it's not even against you as a person. It's just like you as like a manager, and it's just I was just very confused. I'm like, all right, Dusty. And like, I don't know. I was a little taken aback by that statement. Like, all right, okay. But I can't wait until Joe Espada like brings like a big ass thing of like banana pudding to Chaz, and it's like, what's up, Chaz?
I think all of that's done. I don't know that we're gonna hear any stories like that between Joe Espada and the players. Well, he can't be mad at me because I bring the banana pudding. Nah, I don't think we're gonna get any of those.
Oh.
I'm actually very curious to see what he does in center field. Center field is going to be very interesting.
Let Chaz cook. Let the motherfucker cook. Okay, just give him fucking time.
What are you gonna do if he's a Jake Myers guy?
Cry. Fucking cry.
I don't know. I legit do not know what will happen with center field. I don't. I'm very curious to see what Joe Espada's feelings are of those guys, and is there his center fielder? Is it in his dugout right now?
I will cry. Just let Chaz cook. Just let Chaz cook. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for is to let Chaz cook. He has earned that fucking right. Just let Chaz cook. And they're not. Like Jake Myers is going to be in the center field.
I mean, we don't know that.
We don't. And honestly, like I kind of actually hope that Jake Myers gets traded and he's used in a package, a big package. I can't to get better play. Oh my god. But we need a backup catcher. We need like a backup catcher is really our first and foremost, like the most important thing that we need.
Do you feel like they need to trade for one though? You don't think there's one out there in the free agent market?
I don't think they're going to trade for one. I think they're going to go sign one. Personally, like I said, I want Mitch Garver. Are they going to spend the money on Mitch Garver? I don't think they will. Okay. It's his free agent year. There's no way that I say there's no way. I don't know. Maybe Jim Crane's like, fuck you, Suzy. Look what I can do. I would love that. Bring me Mitch Garver. Okay. Let me speak that shit into existence. All right. I don't remember his actual, like, I want to say his slash line was like 287, 353, and then, but his slug was like 500. Okay. When your backup catcher's slug is fucking 500, that shit's awesome. Okay. Like, he was batted 5th in the lineup of the Rangers World Series fucking lineup. So, I would say that would be, like my wish list, my absolute wish list. Gary Sanchez also. I would take Gary Sanchez.
He strikes out a lot.
He also hits how many fucking home runs?
He does. It's all or
And
nothing.
and at this point in time, anything is a fucking upgrade from what we had. Like, right? Am I wrong in thinking that?
I've never been a Gary Sanchez fan for the fact that he is literally a homer or a K. And for as bad as Maldi was, he was kind of the same dude. Maybe not to that extent. Gary got hot. He's much younger, but
Well, now I have to go look. Hold on. You keep talking. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look at it.
So I asked you about the center field thing, or I talked about the center field thing because I wanted to ask you then, what do you make of Jordan posting a picture with Luis Robert?
Oh, I saw that, and I was very excited about it, and everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up, Suzy."
Luis Robert plays center field. They're boys.
I would cry. And apparently,
What if
Dylan Cease and Luis Robert coming to the Astros? That'd be fucking awesome.
What if Chaz was part of your big package?
Hey now, I would be very sad. I would be very sad if Chaz was in my big package.
He would get to cook.
I
He would
can't.
absolutely get to cook.
Oh, but not for the White Sox. I don't know. That would kill me. That would absolutely kill me. I would be very sad. I'd be very sad if Chaz gets traded. Does Chaz hold the higher trade value? Absolutely. But there's no. I don't think it would take way too much and way too many prospects for us to get Luis Robert Jr. from the White Sox. I don't think that would happen. So, I think I wanted to speculate on stuff, and everyone's like, "It's just a picture, Suzy. Like, you found an old picture and you just fucking posted it." And I was like, "Okay, I'm just saying, like, here, it's the thing." But I don't know. So let's see. Gary Sanchez hit 19 home runs, had a 217 batting average, a 288 on base, a 492 slug, for an OPS of 780 and an OPS plus of a 113. I'll fucking take that all day, every day. As like 100 is like average, okay? Considering that fucking Martin Maldonado is like a 63 or OPS or something ridiculous. I will take that all day. Will they pay Gary Sanchez? I don't think so. So, like Austin Hedges, come on down. Like, you're a fucking Astro. Let's go. Okay? Very light hitting bat. Very light hitting bat. Do I dare say that he's worse than Molly? I don't think he is. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, but defensively, he's much better. That's literally the only thing that he's got going for him, guys. It's not pretty. It's very not pretty.
You're not wanting Austin Hedges anymore.
Well, I mean, at this point, it's a veteran. It's a veteran backup.
I think that's like the big thing, right? You need whoever this is to identify. Look, you're not coming to compete. You are strictly here when the kid needs a blow. Haha. To give him one.
Wow. I didn't realize that it was. I wasn't aware that was the terminology for that.
Exactly what it is.
I learned something new every day. Wow. All right. Well, yeah. So, well, but that's the thing though. Like, and everyone's like, oh, but don't count out Maldi. Like he may be coming back because in what world? In what world? Because we all know that we didn't sign Wilson Contreras because Maldi was like, I'm not the backup. Like Wilson Contreras is like, I'm nope. And he flat out said last season he wasn't going to be backup. So now all of a sudden you mean to tell me that now he would be fine being a backup? I don't see it. I don't see it. And quite honestly, I don't think he's humble enough for that. He may be humble enough to go somewhere else and be a backup, but I don't think his ego would allow him to be a backup catcher here. And I think that that's always going to cause problems. And everyone's like, "Oh, well then let Maldi be a bench coach." Has he retired? Has he said that, "Hey, I'm going to hang up my spikes, like I'm not going to be a player anymore"? He hasn't. So, I mean, until that day happens, like I don't know why y'all are trying to like push him into a bench coach role.
There's a lot of love there. There's a lot of love.
There's a lot to love. I mean, that I need a break from Aldi. Okay?
That's it's not him, it's you.
No, it's definitely him. definitely him. Yeah, if Martin Maldonado gets signed to be the backup catcher, find me on the tallest building in Houston and like
full yeet.
Just I mean, like I'll always be like an Astros fan, but this is why it's not called like the Astros Suzy's podcast. Like that's why it's called Bourbon and Baseball. So then this will just become like a Arizona Diamondbacks, Baltimore Orioles like based podcast, and then talking about like all of the other baseball, like with like a sprinkling here and there of Astros, because I can't. I don't think my nerves would allow that.
I don't see it as a thing. I don't think so the rumor has it that there's like 4 teams that are out trying to get Maldi, which I don't know which 4 they are, but God bless them, because I don't know what they're after.
that had to have been like his agent or something leaking that. There, like it had to have been. There's no who like the Pirates. Stop it. No, just no.
I hope for your new co-host's sake, it's not the Cardinals.
Oh no, it's not going to be the Cardinals. Are you kidding me? They've got Wilson Contreras and they've got Andrew Kisner,
but those were issues for them. Like those guys that couldn't catch their pitching. Like they wanted a Maldi type. Like that was the thing.
No, they've got Wilson Contreras has gotten apparently his work ethic has gotten a lot better, and that was kind of part of the issue. And then like Andrew Kisner is still one of their like I don't know, like I guess main catchers or whatever, but they don't have a fucking pitching rotation, so it doesn't even matter. Like there's not an ace there to say, hey, you're my personal catcher. I mean, like Miles Michaelis is their ace. Like, you know, maybe if they sign like Aaron Nola or Sonny Gray, he can be like, I need a so and so to catch me, but I don't think so. I think a personal catcher is only like here. Well, and like Blake Snell and like Gary Sanchez, but you know, besides that,
I don't know. I mean, I think if there was a scenario where they were going to bring him back, they would have already done it, because it probably wouldn't take some, you know, huge contract. He's probably going to make $1 million or something like that. I don't know. And if there was a mutual, I don't think Dana would have went out there. Well, we got to go find a backup catcher if he had Maldi in mind.
I don't know. Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope. Side note, I'm gonna harp on this until the dogs come home. What's the saying? Until the what comes home? Roosters come home. Is that the saying? What's the saying?
I don't use the saying. I don't know.
You know, so until the cows come home.
There you go.
Is that? I was like, what farmyard animal are we talking about? Okay, so the reason I'm saying that is because for I don't know, like 6 months, I've been saying that if Yainer Diaz got enough playing time, he would be in contention for Rookie of the Year. And he came in 5th. He came in 5th for the voting for Rookie of the Year. And that almost makes me even more mad that he came in 5th. Like, I would have just rather, like, no one recognize his, like, awesomeness than to be 5th, because quite honestly, I pulled up Gunnar Henderson's stats. Now don't get me wrong. This is not like a slight to Gunnar Henderson, because Gunnar Henderson is amazing and was amazing this past season, okay? But I need you guys, I'm going to share my screen yet again, and I need you guys to just look at these stats. Just look at them. Okay? Bask in the glory of these stats. If you're audio only, I will read it. No, I won't, because I can't actually see.
I'll read it then because I can see.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to open it on my phone, but thanks, Tom.
Gunner's WAR is 6.2. Yainer's is 3.2. Gunner played in 150 games. Yainer played in 104 games. Gunner got 622 plate appearances. Yainer got 377 plate appearances. Gunner had 143 hits. Yainer had 100 hits, which if you do the math there, that's like there's it's crazy numbers for Yainer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Homers, Gunner 28, Yainer 23. RBIs, Gunner 82, Yainer 60. Stolen bases, I do believe that Yainer would have got stolen bases. Dude's got wheels. Gunner's got 10. Yainer didn't have one. Batting average, Gunner 255, Yainer 282. OBP, Gunner 325, Yainer 308. Slug, Gunner 489, Yainer 538. OPS, Gunner 814, Yainer 846. OPS plus, Gunner 125, Yainer 128.
See, guys, this is what I'm talking about. I can't extrapolate this math because that's like way above my head. I think someone smarter than me needs to extrapolate this out into actual, like, real life numbers. And if Yainer got the right around the same number of plate appearances, what the numbers would be. I need calling any sort of math expert, like Tony Adams, like, where are you? I need your brain. I feel like maybe you are someone who could figure that out.
I mean, just really quickly, like we're looking at 249 more plate appearances for Gunner, and we're only talking about 43 more hits. So he could go 1 for like 30 or something dumb like that and probably have the same hits as Gunnar Henderson. He only needed 5 more home runs. So you're telling me in 249 extra plate appearances, he only needed to hit 5 more home runs? Probably gonna do that, considering he hit 23 and about that number.
Right.
That he only had 377. Same thing with RBIs. I mean, all of the numbers probably lean Yainer's way if the plate appearances are even. But I'll say this. We can all look at this and go, what could have been, what should have been. 100%. I agree. I felt that way. We banged the drum for, I don't know, 150 games. I don't know. It was a lot of them. But I feel like with the Yainer thing, I don't care about the accolades he would have won. I would have wanted them to win the chip. Like, would he have won Rookie of the Year? Probably, because they would have won the chip. I really would have only cared about winning the ring. If he would only got like 100 more plate appearances, but he would have played in the playoffs, for me, that would have been way more important than any accolade that Silver Slugger, Rookie of the Year, all of that jazz. I think he would have gotten it anyway, but what was more important to me was that he was able to play playoff baseball like Evan Carter was for the Rangers. Because in a series where one player was the difference, one out here or there. Bruce Bochy outmanaged Dusty Baker because he used everything.
Yeah.
He was willing to risk it all for the biscuit. And
Yeah.
Dusty was like, nope, this is my book. This is my almanac. On Wednesday, the sun comes up at 7:45 and it sets at 5:25. So I play Maldi here and I put Mauricio Dubon there. And my book says that. And Bruce Bochy was like, well, that's cool, buddy. But see that kid that's 21 that's out there in right field? He is going to be there. I don't care what the book says. I need that dude. And he won. Evan Carter was amazing in the playoffs. And he's 21.
Did you know that he's married to his high school sweetheart?
Congratulations to him.
Mm-hmm. But not only is he married to his high school sweetheart, they've been together since they were 13.
Wow. That's rare.
Yeah. When I tell you that I went down a rabbit hole of like Instagram posts, okay, I was freaking out.
Stalker you.
I was freaking out. I was. And I was like, my mind was being blown and I was like yelling at Mike. And Mike's like, why are you yelling at me?
Poor Mike.
And I'm like, because I was like, what? I couldn't make words. And again, I'm originally from Vegas. Okay. He's originally from this small town in Texas. Okay. It's much, much more common in small town Texas to get married to your high school sweetheart that you've been together with since you were like 13. Still mind boggled. Still mind blown. Anyways, but yeah, so that's the hot stove, guys, for the Astros right now. Other rumor mill stuff. Bob Nightingale is saying that Jose Altuve that will probably work out some sort of extension with Jose Altuve, but don't go looking for an extension with Alex Bregman. That probably won't happen. And really and truly, I honestly think that Alex Bregman does take some sort of like hometown discount. Like,
I don't think he has to take a discount. So when you look at what Marcus Semien got from the Rangers, it was like $175 million over 6 years, which I think runs out to like 29.999 or some junk like that. That's really what Alex Bregman's making right now, which would take him to like his 37 season. And it's not saying, hey, you're getting a pay cut. You're still one of our highest paid dudes. And I don't see how they can't do that. Now, if you're telling me that Bregman's going to ask for like 10 years or something like that, then he's probably got a problem. Now, if he's trying to get 6, 7, 8, I think there's a scenario where you get that done.
Alex Bregman his base salary is $28,500 with a $2 million signing bonus. So his payroll salary is 30.5. 30.5. That's what he makes. That's what he makes a year. A season. So you're thinking that he's not going to ask for too much more?
I mean, I don't know what he has to bargain with. The only way you get overpaid is you go somewhere where they have a desperate need for third base and they're like, look, I'm going to shove extra money at you because we want to pull you from this team. If the Astros are going to offer him similar money to what he's getting now, if he wants to keep winning rings and he loves the clubhouse, his wife's from Houston, doesn't want to move, doesn't want to do all the things, it's not like he's not getting his money. So where, when we were in the PSF app and MZMZ is like, no, he's going to ask for the stars and the moon and the sky and blah, blah, blah. And he's a Boris client. So is Altuve. In the end, they're the ones that tell the agent, hey, this is what I want.
Right.
And if he needs any more reassurance as to maybe chasing the money doesn't always work, his boy Carlos Correa struggled to get his.
Yep.
So
and the Twins are lowering their payroll. Like, what are you doing? Aye. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. and I'm not smart and I know I'm truthful enough with myself and with y'all that I will tell you that I am not the best when it comes to saying how many years for how many millions, billions of dollars. Like I don't know how all of that is calculated, quite honestly. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's like 10 million per war or whatever, right? Or like whatever the actual like roundabout formula is." I want to say it's like 10 million per war. And that to me is just kind of mind-boggling because like some of these players are putting up like 7 war and I'm all, so you mean to tell me it's like 70 million a year? Like what? So don't quote me on that, okay? But like so when people are saying like, "Oh, I think he's going to get blah 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 for this." Why? How? How are we figuring this out? Like I don't know. But I, considering that Altuve and Breggy, this will be their quote unquote last season before they become, free agents. Tucker trying to get some sort of extension, buy out Tucker's ARB years so that core can be still intact. There's been talks about, well, if you let Bregman walk, then Will Wagner can come up and play. Now, don't get me wrong. Kenny Van Doren from Astor's Future podcast has said that Will Wagner is very, very good player. But is he Alex Bregman? He may be. We don't know. But, like Alex Bregman drafted second overall, like has put in the work. And again, maybe Will Wagner is going to be the next Bregman. We don't know, right? But the fact that everyone is saying like, "Oh, well, we can like let Bregman walk. We got minor leaguers that can come up." I don't understand why you're so quick to say that. Or, they're like, "Yeah, fine. If Tuck wants to walk." I'm like, do you not understand what Tuck did during the season? Like I think he was real tired. I think he was real tired at the end of the season, guys. Like just real tired. Like, need I remind y'all that he led the AL in RBIs?
The
Now
entire American League.
Now, that is to say that there were guys on base in front of him. So, like it's not all him, but do y'all forget what the motherfucker did during the regular season? All right. Now we all know it took him a little while to get going. Like batting gloves, no batting gloves, like couldn't make up his mind. But Silver Slugger, guys, Silver Slugger. So he traded his Gold Glove for a bat. Like, all right, like he almost had a 30-30 season, and this is not. You're like, what? Wait, what? And maybe he just got real mad about that last home run that they took away from him, and he's like, you know what? Fuck it. Not really, but like for anybody that's saying, oh well, we need to, that's cool. Let Tucker walk. Let Bregman walk. Why? Right? Like Jim Crane has made a bajillion dollars. I don't actually think that's the number, but a lot of money because we've been in how many World Series is this? What's the plural of series? Series is.
I think that was great. Whatever it is, it should be what you said.
World Series is. Okay. Like we've been to 7 CSs. I don't think the money is hurting, guys. The money is not hurting. I don't think money can hurt. Maybe his pocketbook, but if it's there, it's there. But what's the level of? Is it the first tax CBT level that like you lose a draft pick? No,
I think it's like the second or third.
The second or third level.
And they've done so good with that they're not over it. I don't think that's something that needs to be concerned. And really, honestly and truly, if you wanted to sign Bregman, if you wanted to sign Tucker, you could. Now, would you be able to sign Framber or Garcia or any of the other young pitchers in the next couple of years? Probably not.
Hot take. Trade Fromber.
I'm just saying, like, those are the decisions that you could make, and you could still keep your core, and you could pay them market value and be good. There's nothing saying, and you've got, I don't know, 3-4 years on Pena, so you ain't got to worry about that. Chaz has got a few years before you have to worry about that. Jordan's locked up, so I mean, Yainer's a baby. You're going to be able to keep the thing rolling. You're going to have to find pitching. That's going to be a Dana thing where he's going to have to go find a diamond in the rough, draft one, that sort of thing. But you could pay those guys. The salary cap is not so strapped with bad contracts other than Montero that everybody wants to harp on. That's LMJ is a bad contract if he doesn't come back and pitch. Right now, if he comes back and pitches to the level that he pitched before he got hurt, $17 million for a starter that's a 1-2-3 guy is not expensive. I mean, the Mets are paying two aces $40 million a piece to not play for them.
This is true.
So you could always be doing worse. I don't even want to talk about the Yankees. The Yankees are paying dudes dumb money, and they can't stay healthy. So as bad as LMJ is, he's one dude, and he's making $17 million.
For the next 2 years, though. 3 years?
So,
I don't think his contract falls off until 26.
I will look. But either way, I still think that's a bargain when you think about all the different crazy contracts that pitchers are getting.
I don't know. Well, I mean, my hot take of trading Fromber, you could get some core young pieces to fill in those spots that we just talked about. Like the infields, like those outfield positions. And Fromber would get you a pretty nice haul. At this point in time, his trade value is a little bit lower than it would have been, say like last season this time. But last season this time, like we thought he was going to be our two. And, maybe it comes out that, he did hurt his ankle and his ankle was not happy. And that's why we had all of the erraticness that we got from him. Who knows? But, like all of a sudden he's going to be fine throwing to Yainer. Like couldn't do it any time last season, but like now he's forced to, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just confounding to me.
So you're right. Lance is on the books for the next 2 years.
Okay.
Or I guess that's 24, 25, 26. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But in 27, the only two dudes that are under contract are Christian Javier and Yordan Alvarez. That's what I'm saying to you. When everybody's over here going, how are we going to pay everybody? And there's no way they can pay Bregman, and there's no way they can pay Altuve. They're not paying anybody in 2 years. They're not.
Right.
So yes, right now it's a little loaded up because they went out and got some guys, Abreu, blah, 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 blah. Abreu comes off the books in 2 years. That's 19 more million that you have to spend. So when everybody's going, oh, well, their salary cap's going to be in shambles, maybe a year, maybe 20, 25, 26. Yeah, it's a little tight. Maybe they go over, whatever. Then it starts all over again.
Right. But it's not our money. It's not our money, guys.
That's true.
Like let's spend the billionaires' money. Okay? Like I don't until it starts penalizing us with like draft lottery picks, or is it international pool money? What's the penalty? It's like it's either less international pool money or a lower draft pick or something like that, isn't it? The CBT penalty. Am I on crack?
I'm looking it up.
I mean, maybe I'm on crack, but like I really feel like it's one of those two. But it's just it's seriously confusing to me when people when the national people are like, oh yeah, no, the window is definitely closing. Like it's not closed all the way, but it's closing. And I'm all, in what world? maybe in 25, yes, but as like next season it's still open. Next season it's still open, guys. So we're still gonna be that. We're still gonna be there. Hopefully, Joe Espada leads us to another ring. That would be delightful.
He can do it. He's been here. He's now one of the longest tenured dudes. I mean, he was there with AJ and Dusty, and
well, and that's another thing that I really loved about him. He's been here through the whole rigmarole, through the whole roller coaster of AJ to AJ and Lou now to AJ and no, I was gonna say AJ and Click, but that wasn't a thing. Dusty and Click, and then Dusty and Dana, and it's always been Joe Espada. Joe Espada's always been there in the background, just chilling and waiting.
So the Astros would have to go over the CBT $60 million to have a draft pick pushed back. They don't even lose it; it just gets pushed back.
Okay.
So,
well, what's back further than what we're? Well, no, I don't know what
it says. Clubs that are 40 million or more over the threshold shall have their highest selection in the next Rule 4 draft moved back 10 places unless the pick falls in the top 6. In that case, the team will have its second highest selection moved back 10 places.
Interesting.
But I mean, the cap goes up each year. In 2026, it'll be 244 million.
Wow.
Right now, currently, it's at 233 million. So there's some Bregman money in there, some Tucker money in there if you need it.
Okay. We'll have to do a whole other deep dive episode into that, because we've already been going an hour, and I really only planned on going 30 minutes, but that it never works out for us.
All my fault. I'm sorry, guys.
Jeez, Tom, golly. Anyways, so we're gonna wrap up. Tom, tell the people where they can find you.
On Twitter at Third Coast Tom, the PSF app. I know it's off season, but the Astros chat is still there. We do still jump in there, Suzy included. I do the Texans on Sundays. It's a lot of fun. We're teaching Suzy football. It's a slow burn, but we're getting there. The Rockets have won 6 in a row. Anything sports-wise that you want to go check out, it doesn't even have to be a Houston sports team. Shame on you if you're from Houston and don't follow Houston sports teams. But if you want another one, they got them all right now. You can go get into any room, come to the PSF app. It's a great place, a great time. You can be fanning with other people from the comfort of your own home or wherever you want to do it. And that's where you'll find me if I'm not on Twitter.
If you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, I don't know if you are, but if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, they have 3 ladies that are Dallas Cowboys fans, and their show is called She Wants the D.
And Suzy wants to be there for them.
I seriously thought about having to start liking the Dallas Cowboys just so that I could go join these 3 ladies in the chat, because that's fucking brilliant. And it's so funny and sassy, and I'm I think I could get along with these ladies because they named their room She Wants to D. That's great. Anyways, so go find Tom on Twitter, go find Tom on the PSF app, and you can find Tom here during the off season when any significant Astros stuff happens. And then during the season, we will be recording once per series at the end of the series, I think. That's still to be determined, but I think most likely that is what we will do. So with that, I will say goodnight. But also, you should probably go leave us a 5-star rating and say all the nice words. And don't give me any constructive criticism, because I won't fucking take it, because I'm fucking perfect. And I don't know what more you could want from a podcast host, okay? This shit is free, by the way, okay? Pay me.
Criticize Tom. Tom loves those. Go ahead.
And then maybe you can, you can say stuff. But until you pay me, don't say stuff. They're like, that Suzy chick is a bitch. That's gonna be the next review. Anyways, with that, we will say goodnight. You can, find us on the Google. No, not Google. You can find us on Apple. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on YouTube. Yes. With that, we will say goodnight. I'm gonna hit end record. Yay, baseball!